The Vendée is a department in the Pays-de-la-Loire region in west-central France, on the Atlantic Ocean. The name Vendée is taken from the Vendée River, which runs through the southeastern part of the department. History. The area today called the Vendée was originally known as the Bar-Poitou and is part of the former province of Poitou. In the southeast corner, the village of Newles-sur-Laftaise is believed to be the birthplace of Eleanor of Aquitaine. Eleanor's son, Richard I of England, often had his base in Talmont. The 100 Years' War turned much of the Vendée into a battleground, since the Vendée held a considerable number of influential Protestants, including control by Jeanne d'Albret, mother of Henry IV of France. The region was greatly affected by the French Wars of Religion, which broke out in 1562 and continued until 1598. In April of that year, King Henry IV issued the Edict of Nantes and the wars came to an end. The revocation of the Edict of Nantes in 1685 caused many Huguenots to flee from the Vendée. It is also remembered as the place where the peasants revolted against the revolutionary government in 1793, which opened with a massacre at Macacole in March. They resented the harsh conditions imposed on the Roman Catholic Church by the provisions of the Civil Constitution of the Clergy Act and broke into open revolt after the revolutionary government's imposition of military conscription. A guerrilla war, known as the Revolt in the Vendée, led at the outset by peasants who were chosen in each locale, cost more than 240,000 lives before it ended in 1796. The revolt in the Vendée must not be confused with the Revolt of the Chouans, which took place at the same time in Maine and Brittany. In 1804, Napoleon I chose La Roche-sur-Yon to be the capital of the département. At the time, most of La Roche had been eradicated in the Vendée revolt. The renamed Napoleonville was laid out and a fresh population of soldiers and civil servants was brought in. Napoleonville had a square grid street network and was designed to accommodate 15,000 people. In 1815, when Napoleon escaped exile on Elba for his 100 days, the Vendée refused to recognize him and stayed loyal to King Louis XVIII. General Lamarck led 10,000 men into the Vendée to pacify the region. A failed rebellion in the Vendée in 1832 in support of Marie Caroline de Bourbon-Cecilly, Duchess de Berry, the former King Charles X's widowed daughter-in-law, was an unsuccessful attempt to restore the legitimist Bourbon dynasty during the reign of the Orleanist monarch, King Louis-Philippe of the French. In 1850, British author Anthony Trollope published his book La Vendée, detailing the history of the region and the war. In the preface he pays tribute to Madame de la Roche-Jacqueline, on whose memoirs of the war he based his story. Geography. Vendée's highest point is Puy-Crapeau. The department is crossed by 4 rivers: the Sèvre Nantaise Long, the Vendée, the Lay, and the Sèvre Niortaise. Vendée's inhabitants are referred to as Vendéens. Principal towns. Higher education. The main university of this department is the Catholic Institute of Higher Studies (ICES) in La Roche-sur-Yon. The main goal of this institute is to achieve academic excellence through an enhancement of the Christian and human dimension in 7 areas of study. Founded in 1989, Catholic Institute of Higher Studies (ICES) has pioneered a new concept in higher education, that of the university school. Halfway between the French Grande École and the traditional state university. Economy. The primary drivers of the Vendéan economy are tourism, agriculture, food processing, light-medium industry. The Vendée has been cited as the most economically dynamic department in France by L'Express magazine in a 2006 survey. Its economy is characterized by a low rate of unemployment and a very high proportion of small and medium-sized businesses. Tourism. The coast of the Vendée extends over 200 kilometers of mostly sandy beaches. Tourists from overseas and locally frequent them. Some resorts include Les Sables d'Olonne, Le Tranche-sur-Mer and Saint-Jean-de-Monts. Some beaches are blue-flagged for cleanliness, with more than 100 miles of sandy beaches edged with dunes and pine woods. There is a nude beach just south of La Faute-sur-Mer on the Pointe d'Arquet. The department also has churches and abbeys, museums, and, for nature lovers, thousands of marked footpaths, a signposted bicycle route running along the coastal mudflats, and marshes that attract unusual birds. There is fishing in the Vendée's rivers and lakes. Inland, the chief attractions include the Marais Poitevin, the forested area around the village of Mervent and the rolling countryside of the Bocage. In the north of the department, the historical theme park Puy du Fouilly attracts more than 1.45 million of visitors per year. Agriculture remains a significant source of employment in the Vendée. Among departments, it has the second highest level of revenue from agriculture in France. The major arable crops grown are maize, colza, wheat and sunflowers. Meat and dairy production also feature, as does the offshore farming of shellfish. Poultry from Chalons is highly regarded nationwide, as is lamb produced from the salt marshes in the north of the Vendée, demonstrating its support for the agricultural sector. The Conseil Général of the Vendée has a stated policy to promote the construction of irrigation reservoirs to reduce dependence on groundwater during key summer growing seasons. Food processing and manufacturing. The Vendée is home to a number of food processing firms. A manufacturer of ready meals and charcuterie employs the majority of its workforce at local plants. Other employers include bakeries and biscuit producers. The department also has some specialty products, including brioche, a raw-cured ham similar in flavor to bacon. Wine is also produced in the area around the communes of Vix, Brême, Pisset and Marois-sur-Lay, and is marketed under the Fiefs Vendéens designation. Production quality has improved markedly over recent years, and, having already achieved the classification Vin de Limité de Qualité Supérieure, the wines are on the way towards a OC status. Industry. Much of the manufacturing industry in the Vendée reflects its status as a major tourist destination. Mobile homes are manufactured at plants in Lucan, and the building of motor and sail yachts takes place at locations all over the department. The service sector too is strongly inclined towards tourism, with campsites, restaurants and other tourism businesses being important sources of revenue and employment. Culture. The revolt in the Vendée is the subject of 93, the last novel by the French writer Victor Hugo, an episode in Mr. Midshipman Hornblower, and also the backdrop of Les Choens by Balzac. In the writings of Karl Marx regarding revolutionary struggles in various countries, he uses the term a Vendée as meaning a focus of persistent counter-revolutionary activities. Vladimir Lenin, when speaking about Cossacks as potential counter-revolutionary opposition, identified them as Russian Vendée cuisine. Jambon Mogets is the most famous Vendée dish. The department is the largest brioche producer in France, with the brioche de Vendée made in the Bocage. In the plain of Lucan, Préfou is a garlic bread that can be served as an aperitif. In the marshland of the northwest, the poultry of Chalons, especially duck, is well known in the gastronomic world. The department has several small vineyards around Brême-sur-Mer, Marois-sur-Lay, Vix, and Pisset. Government. In the Vendée, 31 members, elected through universal suffrage, govern the affairs of the department, with 26 members on the right wing and 5 members on the left wing. The prefect represents the French state in the department. Elections. The President of the General Council has been for a long time the President of the Movement for France, Philippe de Villiers. He held the office from 1988 to 2010 and was seen as the department's political strongman. He has been replaced by Bruno Retailleau.